Welcome back, Story Explorers. Today, we're diving into a city that runs on perfect efficiency, where every second is accounted for and every citizen is synchronized. But what happens when time itself starts to fray at the edges? Imagine a place called Neoredia, a towering metropolis of chrome and light. Its lifeblood is a colossal power grid, so advanced that every person is implanted with a device to keep them in perfect step with the city's rhythm. It's a utopia built on precision. But then, the skips began. It starts small, almost unnoticeable. You're on your way to work. You glance at the giant clock tower. It reads 10:45 a.m. You blink, and suddenly, it's 10:52. 7 minutes. Vanished. You feel nothing, just a strange sense of dislocation. A programmer is typing a line of code, and in the space of a thought, the entire block is finished, but they have no memory of writing it. People call it the skip. At first, they blame stress, lack of sleep, but the data doesn't lie. Across the city, every citizen is losing, on average, 38 minutes of productive time each week. An invisible thief is stealing moments, and the unease is starting to build into a quiet, citywide dread. Deep beneath the city's main fusion core, in a shielded sub-basement, a former quantum physicist named Dr. Elias Vance suspects the truth. He and his small team, the chronal cartographers, aren't just managing the city's power. They're studying its strange side effects. They discover that Neoredia's incredible energy consumption is creating a byproduct, something they call negative time residue. This residue gathers in pools, creating microscopic bubbles where the flow of time itself becomes unstable. Think of it like this. The city's power grid is so massive, it's staring tiny, invisible holes in the fabric of reality. Vance and his team realize that the very energy that powers their perfect city is also poisoning its timeline, creating the perfect hunting ground for something far worse than a simple glitch in the system. Using a hypersensitive camera, Vance's team peers into these temporal eddies, and what they find is the beginning of the true horror. The eddies aren't empty. There's movement. Inside, they're not just unstable pockets of time. They're lures. Lurking within them are entities Vance calls chronosiphons. These things aren't made of matter or energy. They are beings of pure temporal hunger. They exist in a state where time stands still, unable to touch our physical world, but perfectly capable of interacting with the flow of our present moment. They are parasites that feed on time itself. Here's how they hunt. The siphons nestle into the temporal instability created by a surge of energy, a subway train accelerating. A data center powering up. When a person passes through this invisible field, the siphon strikes. It doesn't attack the body, it attacks the timeline. It unspools the next few moments of that person's future, consuming the entire experience, the thoughts, the sensations, the actions. The victim is left with only the result. The door you meant to open is now open, but you don't remember opening it. The words you were about to say have been said, but you don't recall speaking. The memory, the feeling of being there, is gone, stolen. All that's left behind is a deep, primal sense of loss, a subconscious scream telling you that a piece of your existence was just carved away. This is the true terror of the chronosiphons. This isn't a monster that jumps out from the shadows. It's a monster that erases the light. that eats the very moments that make up your life. They are invisible, unstoppable. You can't fight them. You can't capture them. You can't even see them. They exist between the ticks of a clock, moving faster than our ability to measure. They are always there, in the silent space between your now and your next. And they aren't just stealing time, they are stealing your life story. A few minutes lost on your commute is one thing, but what happens when a siphon steals the moment you hear your child's first words, or the instant you fall in love? The citizens of Neo-Viridia are slowly realizing their lives are being hollowed out, leaving behind a shell of accomplishments without the joy, the pain, and the richness of having lived them. This creates an impossible paradox. To stop the siphons, they would have to shut down the city's power grid. But doing so would mean the collapse of their entire civilization. Millions would perish. Yet, to leave the power on is to continue feeding these temporal parasites. The city's very lifeblood is the bait. Vance and his team are now trapped in a race against an enemy that doesn't follow the rules of our reality. They are forced to watch as the collective present of Neo-Viridia is slowly digested, one blank, forgotten minute at a time. The ultimate fear isn't just losing a moment here and there. It's the chilling realization that one day, you might experience a skip that consumes everything, even the moment of your own death, leaving behind nothing but an empty, unremembered end. What would you do? Would you power down the world to save your memories? Or would you sacrifice your past to secure your future? It's a terrifying thought. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive. If you enjoyed this journey into the dark corners of science fiction, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell for more stories. Until next time, stay curious.